And welcome to our second week of trying to replicate Kong. I wasn't scared off, don't worry. We are doing a second week. Now, we've done quite a lot so far. We've got the platforms working nicely. We've got them cascading down, and that's really great effect. But Jumpman's movement is not great. And we're trying our best to kind of use Clickteam's movement, but it's not quite working for this game. So what we want to do is create our own movement, and this is going to be a big task. One thing I don't want to do, I don't want to create an engine from scratch for Jumpman in all sorts of scenarios. What I'm going to do is cheat a lot, and we are going to be creating our engine based on only this game, and it's the code we're going to write only works with this game. And we're going to try and do this kind of Pac-Man thing where Jumpman can only go at certain places, and we're just going to hard code it in. Whether this will work or not, who knows, but we're going to give it a go. So let's get started. So let's just have a look at the project, because it's been a weekend since we looked at it last, and it works nicely. I love the cascading, but when Jumpman's running along, he kind of clips in. Like, I'm holding down right and it doesn't quite go any further. The ladder's not great, and it just clips at that same spot each time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do all of the movement stuff from scratch myself. And this is going to be quite daunting. So let's get started. We're going to start by doing our active store. And this is where I'm going to store all of the data for the movement. And I'm going to have it red for Jumpman. And I've done this before for the platforms. I'm just going to do this for the movement. So this will be our movement store, or movement data. So the first thing I want to have is the platform number. So what platform is Mario or Jumpman currently at? And he's going to start at 0. Okay, so what we're going to do next is get rid of his movement controls, and going to have him as static because we're going to control all the movement ourselves. And we're going to get rid of the ladder thing, so we won't need that. And we're going to get rid of any of the previous stuff that we did. And we're going to have Jumpman always at the front as well. Okay, so we're going to start by saying repeat while key pressed right. Remember, if you have click right, it only happens once. This will keep happening. And the first thing, actually, what we need is the speed. So we can do that as an alterable value in our store. So speed. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's always the one that has, always the one that comes up. So player speed. You're not allowed to have certain words. And I'm going to have it as 3. And the speed basically is how much to add on pixel-wise every time the right arrow is pressed. So we're going to set the x-coordinate at the current x-coordinate plus the speed. And this will help us if we change our mind later on. We just change it in one place. And we're going to have the same thing again, so Control C, Control V, but this time for the left. Instead of adding, we are subtracting. Cool. See whether this works. Yeah, not too bad. The only thing that's happening differently is the direction. So we want him facing right if your right arrow is pressed, and left if the left arrow is pressed. Try it again. There we are. That's cool. I think that's a bit slow, so let's try and speed that up a bit. So we're going to have it as 4. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, that's the easy bit. So the hard bit is working out what his y coordinate is. Now, because we know what platform he's on, then we can know what his y coordinate roughly is going to be. So we can say if the where are we? And we could store this all on the player object, but I didn't want to. So compare to if the platform is 0. So if Mario is on the bottom platform, we can put his Y coordinate. Where are we? Position, Y coordinate. And I think what we did, and I'm just going to say 0 for now because we have already got this all sorted here. And so I'm going to copy this, and we're going to have to adapt it slightly. And this is when we made the platforms. Now, we've got the loop index is referenced. We're obviously not in a loop at the moment, but that will be replaced with something to do with Mario's X coordinate. So we've got to work out what the equivalent is. So this was updated 24, so it would be his X coordinate divided by 24, perhaps, will be the equivalent of the loop. Probably. I don't know. Let's see whether this works. I have no idea. Yeah, wow, that actually works. But they were originally put, so they were created at this part here. So we just need to edit that and add on where the platforms were created. Okay, I'm a little bit scared because this is actually working. Okay, this is weird. Oh, because they're at the top and his is at the bottom. So something I mucked up last week is we didn't update his hotspot, first of all. So we need to update his hotspot. I didn't do that last week. And so if you were wondering why, I think there was something I added and I should have subtracted. So it really shouldn't have worked the platform, but it was the hotspot was up here, but I added instead of subtracted something from the platform when it was collision detection. So that's why it worked. I kind of made two mistakes, the complete opposite, and they kind of cancelled each other out, which is pretty cool. That is looking pretty good. Look at that. I'm pretty proud of that. Okay. I honestly didn't think that would work that easily. So if you're worried about the fact that he can't jump and there's no way we're going to be able to do the jump, well, jumping is actually quite easy because his X coordinate will always be the same. His Y coordinate, sorry, will always be the same. And so we just keep the Y coordinate at where the platform is. And all we need to do then is when he jumps, we just add something on, subtract some, or add something on, and make it like probably, I would imagine it would be a quadratic equation, a nice curve like that. Do a bit of maths, work out what the height should be after each sort of thing, have a counter going, blah blah blah. It'll be easy. It'll be simple. I've just used the word quadratic, and that's probably scared quite a few people. But anyway, wow. Okay. This is way further than I thought I'd be at this point. What do we do next? Well, we need to stop him from going off the screen. So we need to figure out where his hotspot is, and it has nice little coordinates here saying it's 24. And is it? Yeah, it's 24. So it's right in the middle. So he can only go left if his X coordinate is greater than 24. Simple. And he can only go right if his X coordinate is lower than the frame width minus 24. See whether that works. Stops there and stops there. Perfect. Now something we want to do with debugging probably is have the effect gone. We're kind of done with the effect. So this is going to be a problem. So start a frame, I would just yeah, this is going to be a bit of a problem. I might just copy and paste that in here and just get it done really quickly, and then deactivate these. And so when I run it now, it just does it really quickly. And that's quite common for when you're creating games. You don't want to have to complete level 1 every time you're editing level 2, etc, etc. So I don't want to wait for this every single time. So what Clickteam introduced, I think in Clickteam 2 or 2.5, I can't remember which one, is to be able to deactivate lines. So I've just deactivated those. Then I've put in our little debug group a way of just doing it really quickly. So move that from half a second to just basically instant. But that's brilliant. So you can't go off on the left, walks nicely. We probably could get an animation there. But notice he's not clipping anymore, which is really good. And he's stopped at the end. And we've got complete control over his movement now, which is what we want. To be honest, I'm going to stop there because I think that has been a huge achievement. I want to climb ladders and jump. I'm probably going to jump next. I'm going to jump tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a jumping one, and then we'll do the ladders and complete the movement for the whole level. So, thank you very much for watching. Comment if you've got something to say. I have no idea what the next project's going to be. It was my wife, actually, weirdly, suggested doing Donkey Kong. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's way too hard. And it has been way too hard. But we've got somewhere with it, which is always good. But like it if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more from us. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.